All right, listen, Jenny Bloodworth, thank you so much. Jenny, you did so much for me today. We appreciate it. The Bambino enjoying the day off. He'll be back with us tomorrow night when we return. The Allegheny Health Network program, Medical Frontiers. We're going to talk hand surgery. And then, as far as the rest of the program in the 8 o'clock hour, some of the things that Jenny was working on today, Face the Nation. We're going to be talking a lot about healthcare, and you'll hear some of the interviews that John Dickerson had, including with Senator Pat Toomey from the state of Pennsylvania. And also Bernie Sanders, Jenny and I were talking earlier today, was in Pittsburgh yesterday at the convention center, and he actually called out Senator Pat Toomey. So we're going to be discussing all of that in the 9 o'clock hour. Healthcare is the big topic with Dr. Terry Madonna from 9 until 10 o'clock. He, of course, from the Franklin and Marshall University in Lancaster. He's the head of their polling center. So that should be some really good radio. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to stand up for teachers everywhere in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. They still don't get enough respect, those public school teachers who work so hard. Former Pennsylvania State Education Association spokesperson Butch Santacola joins me in the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow night on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. But today, we were talking sports, and let's talk the Penguins draft. And we've got a guy by the name of Reeves. He is a defenseman, Ryan Reeves, coming in from St. Louis. And according to Jim Rutherford, he's going to put the grit back into the Penguins lineup. Greg Diolis.
Yeah, Rob, it's interesting. I think the story behind the Penguins draft was really not a draft pick. It was more the fact that they moved a draft pick, their first-round pick, number 31 overall, to St. Louis for Reeves, who is what people are looking to be not a prototypical enforcer, because he does more than that. He's actually a hockey player too, but he does give you that little bit of extra grit, the little bit of extra muscle to protect Crosby if somebody crosses a line. And it seems like we're saying just protect Crosby, but it's really to protect your goal scorers, to make sure that you have somebody there that if a line gets crossed, you have somebody who's going to stick up for them and take care of business that way.
Listen, I know I'm getting old. And I know he's only 30 years. Don't laugh, Jenny. And I know that Marc-Andre Fleury is like only 30 years younger than me. But I can't see any more of him in Las Vegas. I feel like my kid went off to college again. You know what I mean? I'm like shedding tears. No more Marc-Andre Fleury stuff. He's fine. His wife's fine. His kids are fine. They're going to do great. But one more time, let's give some love to the Flower. I really am going to miss this young kid. He did so much for Pittsburgh.
He did. And one of the things that's so nice about the story is people gave him the appreciation that he really deserved. And he really didn't get that until probably the last half of this season, when everybody realized that he's going to be moving on. And then to find out that he basically had waived his no trade or no move clause in his contract in order to help the Penguins. Now it helped him. Obviously, he was able to win a Stanley Cup and go on that longer run. But it was really a cool tribute to him all throughout, because everybody treated him so well when it was over. And even Matt Murray, when Fleury handed Murray the cup on the ice, it was the passing of the torch from the old guard to the new guy. But Murray talked about how special that was to him to have received the cup from the guy that was his mentor. So much success, much love, and Godspeed to you, Flower.
Now, I'm going to just say this to Matt Murray and to all the young players who replace legends, as Lou Gehrig once did. It's the old story, a dad, a grandfather, and son taking the father's dad, meaning the grandfather, to an assisted living home. He tells the son to stay in the car while he gets his dad registered. And just before they get to the entrance door, the little kid sticks his head out the window and says, "Dad, don't forget Grandpa's blanket." He says, "Well, why is that, son?" He says, "Because I'm going to need it when I bring you here." So what I'm saying, time stands still for nobody. So enjoy your moment in the spotlight, whoever you are, but don't forget the players who were there to blaze the trail. And Marc-Andre Fleury truly was an amazing player for the Pittsburgh Penguins, the winner of two Stanley Cup championships. So real excited about his future, as we are Matt Murray and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And they're already hard at work thinking about, well, folks, a three-peat. Pirates, a big win yesterday. Garrett Cole's the story, even though you had homers from Harrison and Mercer. So excited that Garrett Cole's back to 6-6. Tonight, a little after 8, primetime Chad Kuhl, Mike Leake. They take on the St. Louis Cardinals, 93-7 the Fan. Right.
Pirates seemingly found their offense again, Rob. They're scoring some runs now, which makes them more exciting to watch, and you don't feel like if they get behind in the game that it's all over with. You also don't have the confidence in the bullpen that makes you feel like if they get ahead in the game that the game's all over with, which you did feel for a little while when you had Melanson and going back to Grilly and those guys when these were the teams that we had. Now you do feel good once you get through the 8th inning. If you get to Rivero, you're in great shape, but it's that 7-8 area that's been dangerous for them. Been interesting to see how Hurdle has kind of expanded his thought process, and now Rivero is really your last basically 5 outs of the game guy.
All right, just a couple of other things real quick. NASCAR today in Sonoma, and you've got Jordan Spieth leading by 1 at the Travelers Championship. So can he finally put together, as he did, 4 great rounds of golf, had a 66 yesterday, 69 the day before. He could be the leader wire to wire and actually be holding that championship check at the end of the day. That, of course, on CBS. But he has been very inconsistent. He wins the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and then he just completely falls off the radar, and now he's back on top again. So what do you expect to see from Jordan Spieth today?
I expect to see a win from Jordan Spieth today, which is kind of strange because last week Bobby and I basically stuck a fork in him saying he's done, he's off the rails, he can't do anything right. Yesterday, even though he's in the lead, he hits a tee shot over a set of railroad tracks, but comes back and still leader of the event. He's got it going well this weekend and probably will take this event running away with it.
Vantage Management Group, he's a sports agent 1 month before the Steelers go to camp. What are you doing as a professional football agent just weeks before camp opens?
Just getting in to visit with most of the guys that we can, just to kind of check in on them, make sure everything's good, do a little politicking with them, do a little entertaining with them, which somebody's got to do it, Rob. It's a tough life.
It is a tough life, but don't we love it? Bob Dvorak back with us next week. It was the Uniontown High School alumni getting together for his class reunion this weekend, so he's probably just getting up as we speak. Big night last night for Bobby. For Jenny Bloodworth and, of course, Greg Diolis, I'm Rob Pratt. Tomorrow night at 7, the Allegheny Health Network program starts it off with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer. Rob Pratt Monday night on News Radio 1020 KDK. Cheers.